Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. My name is Lee, intuitive wellbeing coach and teacher, and I'm a little bit late doing the energy reading for July because there's quite a lot going on, as I'm sure you've noticed in your own life. So I think it's the 17th, probably it's the latest ever, but better late than never. So let's have a wee look at the energy for July, and probably more particular, we're quite close to the Leo new moon. There's a Leo new moon next week. I'm recording this on Thursday the 17th of July. We have just had a full moon in Capricorn, and also we've just, the last week was the 7-7 portal. The 7-7 portal was very, very strong. I could just see this doorway opening up and it's going to close on the 8-8 portal. So I'll probably do an activation for Lionsgate, which I always do every year for the 8-8 portal. And that is all about stepping into courage, and that is all about, we're going to be seeing some challenges come up in July, and it's important that you just trust that it's all coming through for your highest good. It is almost like obstacles coming up to be cleared. So I often use the word illusion. It's never as bad as you think it is. It just is stuff that we haven't wanted to deal with, that we must deal with to step forward towards abundance, love, and that higher timeline. Okay, remember that July is the number 7 month, which is the crown chakra, which is this higher wisdom and guidance, and that connection to your higher self, your intuition. So it's really, really important to connect with your intuition, connect with your divine feminine, and that part of you, that all-knowing part of you. Okay, so Leo, new moon, new beginnings, and Leo is a fire sign, the cat energy, and it's all about, the cat energy is all about sort of putting you first. It's all about, it's a little bit more selfish than the dog energy. The dog energy is unconditional love. So you're being asked to, I suppose, pull in. I've been shown for many of my clients over the summer the energy of fun, the energy of actually just slowing down a wee bit and doing what's right for them, and not even doing too much reading and inner work and meditating, but just what feels good, what is fun, what lights you up, almost like a cocoon, I suppose, before there's a massive movement coming in September. Okay, and that's going to be, you know, it's like we're in this cocoon. If you imagine, you know, the caterpillar, it's a cocoon, caterpillar, cocoon, butterfly, I can't remember actually the stages, which is weird, but yeah, I think it's a caterpillar first, isn't it? Goes into the cocoon and then transforms into a butterfly. Have you seen the amount of butterflies lately? So we're in this cocoon stage. What happens inside a cocoon? It all goes to mush, it all blows up. So you want to just nurture yourself, as things could be sort of falling all over around you, or not going according to plan, or feeling a wee bit intense, or, you know, we've had a couple of planets on the 7th, which was the 7-7 portal, the planet Uranus, which is the planet of sudden change and massive sort of uprising. Okay, and it went into Gemini, which is the sign of communication, which is an air sign, and that's like a changing of signs that will last for a long time. So that will bring a big shift. And then also on Sunday there, Saturn went into retrograde. So when planets go into retrograde, we're being asked to review old stuff. So old things, old partners, old relationships, old feelings, old beliefs, old aches and pains and stuff will be coming back. And then I think Mercury goes into retrograde tomorrow also, communication, things like that. And that's health also, because Mercury is ruled by Virgo, and I'm seeing the caduceus symbol, which is Mercury, which is the international symbol of health. So some ailments could be coming up. I know something that's came up for me was, I had a bit of a trauma experience this time last July, and I just wasn't in the place to deal with it then to the fullest extent. And now my body sort of is feeling a bit spaced out, a bit anxious, you know, physical pains in the tummy where the energy was that hasn't been dealt with. So I've been asked to, I'm feeling that's connected back to actually go into that again and heal that, okay, through inner child work, through journaling, through meditation, through self-inquiry, whatever that is, okay? So that can be happening And then obviously there's the Lion's Gate 8-8 portal. I'm a Leo myself. As you can see, there's my lovely lion there. And Lion's Gate, the number 8 is connected to power. The number 8 is connected to balance. The number 8 is the DNA symbol also. And, you know, technically we know that there's 7 chakras, but really there's 12. The 8th chakra is the ultra major. So if anybody's getting neck pain, that is your Akashic gate. So many people are having their Akashic records done this year because it is a number 9 year of completion. It's connected to the snake and Kundalini. So a lot of past life stuff is coming up, karma. And that can feel very intense. So understanding that by having your Akashic records cleared and read is key. That's the Akashic at the back of the neck. If not, just try and, you know, meditate, go into the back of the neck, almost visualize it like it's, you know, it's the ultra major chakra, which is a teal color. It's connected to your nervous system. It's called the mouth of the god and the goddess. So almost just, I'm seeing it opening, the gates opening, and this flood of water. I'm actually seeing a card from one of the Kyle Gray's deck. I wonder, could I find it? And it's all about, this is called the Temple of Truth. So your voice, your throat chakra, and maybe with Mercury going into retrograde tomorrow, that's relevant. I know I feel a lot of symptoms before others, and definitely my throat chakra was, for a couple of weeks there, it was coming up to be cleared because some stuff needed said to myself, to others, to old parts of me as well. So, you know, yeah, just allow these to play out. Let's see, let's go into this now. So let's ask for the collective main guide for us as a collective for the month of July, or closing out these last 2 weeks of July. Serapis Bay. And look at the colours he's wearing, because I'm all in colours today too. Paradigm shift. And look, throat chakra. That is your truth. That is your integrity. That is also an area where we hold shame. I think shame is coming up an awful lot. And, you know, when you have a scale of emotions, okay, and up here is happiness and joy and just all wonderfulness. And then you move down through the scales and, you know, boredom, frustration, anger, guilt, fear. The lowest of the low is that shame and powerlessness, okay? So it generally can be one that can be hard to access, and when you've worked through a lot of triggers and a lot of unhealed wounds, the last one will be shame, and it's very prevalent in society, and I suppose that's what's coming up for me too. When I think about it, I've just connected the dots there, actually, just talking about that. So the energy of shame. So what you want to do is, you know, sit with what's coming up for you right now. What is being triggered? What is your reaction, and how is it making you feel? Try not to blame others, and of course there will be parts they have to play, but what that does is it disconnects us from our truth. It disconnects us, you know, it disassociates us from actually solving the problem, because it can be just easier to blame, you know. And yes, they will have a role, but, you know, a lot of people play a role for our highest good, to bring some stuff up to be healed, okay? So sit with that energy. What is the emotion that's coming up? For example, if it's shame, close your eyes, go into that. Where are you feeling it in the body? Almost really try and see, how does that feel? What does that look like? Whatever that emotion is, okay? I've just used the example of shame. And when was the first time I felt that way? You know, and look down at your feet in your mind's eye, see what age you are, and even just having that awareness, even just doing that little bit will help shift things. This is paradigm shift. Activation to grow, make the necessary change, which is why I will be doing an activation for you. Have I even done one this year? I don't know, because I keep promising, but I've been so busy. So I am an activator. Activate energy within people to help them move forward, help them clear stuff. So the 8-8 Lion's Gate activation will be very powerful, but in the lead up to that, just see what is coming up to be cleared. What parts of you are coming up from the shadows that are maybe self-sabotaging or preventing you from moving forward, preventing you from manifesting, you know, whatever that is. Okay, whether it be health, whether it be relationship, whether it be a job, life purpose, whatever that is. Okay. It says to grow, make the necessary change. Okay. But in order to do that, you have to find the part of you that is in resistance, the part of you that doesn't want to grow, because there can be one part of you growing and you can't move forward without the other parts of you. And hence why you need to go into the trigger, you need to get to the source. And whether that be in this lifetime as an inner child or in the past, okay, can be holding back. And really connect with the chakras, the colours of the chakras. Look at all of that there. Okay. Yeah, Commander Ashtar. So I do feel the second half of the year is very forward moving from August, where we've almost felt a wee bit stagnant, a wee bit stuck, but we sort of had to go back to heal foundations to move forward. So this is Commander Ashtar, which is a leadership activation. So what we don't realize is, sorry, whenever I'm burping, I'm clearing and healing. So I'm channeling some Reiki here for people that are watching also. Hence why I do that. I'm just so used to doing it that sometimes I don't even say excuse me. So it says here, leadership activation, time to evolve, trust in your ability to guide others. So if you imagine you're manifesting, you're calling stuff in, all right, and these are the blocks to abundance coming up to be cleared. Sometimes we go, oh God, I don't want to deal with that. Oh God, is that the wrong sign? Or I'm doing something wrong. And then we freeze, okay? Instead of just going, okay, let's go into that. Let's deal with that part of us that's in the reaction, in the trigger. Then when we're ready and we have stabilized and we have grounded, let's see if we can access the source of the trigger and the source of the wound. Let's see if we can speak to that part of us that has a false belief, and you hold them. You be the mother and father to them. You be the coach to them. They're the part of you that's holding you back. And a lot of the time it's like to see how much we can take, if we'll be thrown situations to see if we're ready for the upgrade, see if we're ready to step into that leadership role. Because as much as a leadership role sounds amazing, whether that is in a job or a leader in your own life or whatever that is, it's a lot of responsibility and it's a lot of energy. You have to be able to fully hold yourself as a leader and take a lot of stuff being thrown at you. Okay, so Commander Ashtar is all about, yes, leadership activation, but also walking your talk. Okay, and there's Lady Venus. Okay, tomorrow is Friday. That is the day of Venus, and there's a beautiful light activation. I don't know what is happening tomorrow. I think Mercury's going into retrograde, but a call to action, power surge, earth mission. So we've really been in our feminine for the past couple of weeks. That's why I felt quite tired, maybe blurry-eyed, maybe just spaced out, tired but not sleeping at weird times, maybe pain down the left side of the body, things like that. And that is the feminine energy, the downloads that have been coming in, especially with the sun. Sun brings in downloads. And then we will get periods where we need to rest. So we receive it and then we need to rest to integrate before we move forward. Sometimes that can paralyze people because they can think, I have no motivation, I have no this. But if you surrender to the flow, surrender to the rest, even if you don't know what you're resting for or receiving, just feel your body. And then you'll be able to move forward with these new creation codes of the feminine that will blend with your masculine, and then you can work together, your masculine and feminine. But we are clearing karma. We are clearing their Saint Germain, violet flame. So many of us are clearing past lives, clearing quite intense energy, releasing the old to make way for the new. Okay, so sometimes old patterns, old behaviours will be coming up to say, are we going to do that? Are we going to do the new? Are we going to acknowledge that? Are we going to close that cycle? It is a number 9 year of completion after all. And then we're being asked to sort of step into your warrior self. There's some of us have a bit of a battle ahead, and remember you're a light warrior. So it's not about, I watched Superman last night, by the way, it was really good. And it's all about using your brain and not your brawn, and it was interesting. Superman was getting beaten about like nobody's business, but I liked it because he was more human, and that is what life is about. We're not superheroes, and as much as sometimes we can pretend to be, but we do have superpowers, but I think it's finding a balance between that and not feeling the need to fight from that physical place, from that anger place, from that blame place, from that shame place. It's being a light warrior and accessing all parts of you your physical body, emotional, spiritual and mental, to get things done or achieve a task or heal something. Okay, so let's ask for an animal guide for the month of July. I was going to turn that light on, but it might affect the light here. Okay, an animal guide for July for the collective. Yeah. Okay. So we have, the first card is Armadillo. So you're being asked to sort of pull in, as I said, that's a cocoon. You know, this is the protection. So that you're not, we're very sensitive at the minute because we're receiving downloads. So you could pick up on a lot of people's energy that isn't yours and that can affect you. So you want to be almost putting yourself in this protection, this armadillo, quite strong protection. There's the sun, there's the pyramids, love all of that. Groundedness, really ground with eating, you know, healthy rooted vegetables, plenty of water, adding some lemon into the water. Maybe you have some vegetable juice, freshly squeezed juice. Walking, not necessarily maybe running or anything quite fast if you're quite tired, but just doing something to bring you back into your body, even if it's just cleaning the house, even if it's washing the windows, even if it's decluttering a room, even if it's having a bath, do you know what I mean? Or just something simple to bring you back into your body and do what nourishes you. It's all about, and you know, my mentorship priestess group at the minute, it's about mothering yourself. Okay, mothering and fathering yourself, that is what's needed. And that is the card number 7. Okay, there's a lot of light codes coming in from the sun as the sun reaches its solar maximum as well. And it's all to help us step into our power. And obviously this is a card connected to, like when I see this card, it's very much connected to Christmas with the stag. So we will see the fruits of our labor around Christmas time, and Christmas, you know, sort of December, January, February. Okay, particularly more so probably towards the Bridget's, which is 2nd of February. So everything that's been coming up is showing us where we maybe are powerless. That's that word I used with shame, where we're feeling powerless, so that we can get back into your power again. Okay, and don't see that as a bad word, it's a dangerous word. And that's Athena there, goddess of the hunt. Which do you choose to be, the hunter or the hunted? Okay, and it's not about being a hunter and taking anybody down. It's just being that leader in your own life and taking control of it. But as much as we need to rest in the feminine, we also need to then put some sort of a strategy in place. This is the card of strategy. The fox is connected to shadow work. It says strategy here, red fox, as you move from the dark of your cocoon to the light. So what are you calling in? What are your intentions? Get clear on what you want, even if you don't necessarily do anything with it right now, but just peruse it. You know, go for walks and have a think. How is your life? How would you like that to be? Different areas, okay? And above all, be the observer. When we're going through a tough time, where we're experiencing a lot of triggers or unease or uncertainty, it's important to be the observer. There's the cat energy coming in. You don't need to fix anything, but just watch things, allow things to play out, watch your triggers, watch your feelings, hold yourself in that moment. Okay, the snow leopard, bringing in the energy of the snow to cool things down. Okay, if there's heated moments. And that is the big thing. There's leadership again. So there is dealing with the elephant in the room. Elephant's connected to Ganesh energy, which is all about clearing obstacles for abundance to come in. Okay, so let's go to the tarot here, and I'll keep this quite short. And let's ask for some, what can we do? What can the people watching do to help them in this moment? Let's go for these cards that are have fallen. Maybe rest. Rest for, is it 4 days to, what have we got? We've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 4 days till we get into the energy forward movement next week, which would be new moon energy. So rest for the next 4 days. If you're watching this, obviously, the day I'm posting. Period of rest. And then you will feel a motivation. You'll feel an energy to rebuild things that you maybe have wanted to do for a while, but just have procrastinated, you know. There's a really good book I'm reading at the minute, but my phone is on here. I think it's called, I can't remember the name of it. It's such a good name. Is it something like, when you need to do something, but you don't have to, oh my God, I'm just completely, can't remember the name of it. I will post it below. It's very good. And it's not my usual book, which is probably why I can't remember the name of it. But the title is so good. It's all about something about not knowing what to do when you don't know what to do. Or it's about procrastination, basically, and motivation, which I feel like many people are struggling with at the minute. And it's about rebuilding, but not on your own. Do you see that? This is your feminine, your masculine, and your inner child. Okay, whether you're male or female, all right? And you're working together as a team, not on your own anymore, okay? Towards this happy unit, this happy family, to grow more pentacles. You know, this is the 3 of Pentacles. You're going from the 3 to the 10. It's a massive upgrade. This is the happiest card, the most abundant card of the deck, the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. And like so much abundance in all areas. All right. Happy families. So let's see what else wants to come through. Wishes coming true. That's the other most abundant card of the deck, apart from the Sun. You know, so we have 10 of Pentacles, which is more abundance, financial. 10 of Cups is abundance, emotional. Isn't that what we want? Both. So it's on its way, but get clear. What is that? What does that look like? I'm here and redefine that. Because sometimes we can think it involves this, but we don't realise then, you know, the path it takes to get there, or is that really what we want, or is that what we've been told we want, you know? And I think sometimes simple is more. Okay. I want to split the deck. Page of Wands. Yeah, Page of Wands is a fast moving energy coming in. Okay. To help you as you turn the wheel. This is the turning of the wheel. Yeah, the world. Sorry, it's not. I thought it was a Wheel of Fortune, but it's the world. It is still a turning of the wheel, and we are entering into the next turning of the wheel, which is called Lanasa or Lammas on the 1st of August. And that is also known as the first harvest, the first of 3 harvests where you reap what you sow. So there's the first harvest, and then we've got the second harvest is Mabon in September, and then the 3rd harvest is Samhain at Halloween in October. And then the abundance comes in then in December with Yule, okay, otherwise known as Christmas, okay, but so these next few months are like building up. So what is it that you want? What are you calling? Really get intentional with all of that. And when you're setting intentions, you want to then surrender and detach from them, but you also don't want to sit back. So you want to go, right, okay, that's why we have the card of strategy. What's your intentions? How do you break that down? What can I do every day towards that? Okay, that's going to work within my life and it's not going to wreck me and I'm not going to give up. Okay, it could be small things. Okay, and what parts of me are you letting go? Okay, old parts, old behaviors, old, you know, acknowledge them and then let them go. You know, old triggers. That's why we go into our wins. Okay. So let's ask for, I'm going to look at this card at the bottom. Yeah, 7 of Pentacles. What this tells me is you've actually done a lot of work and you could be getting a wee bit impatient right now. I'm sick of doing this work and not reaping the rewards. But this is what happens. It suddenly just comes out of nowhere. You've been doing the work, and then suddenly things just change and shift. And it's based on all of that. So this is what you've been planting new seeds for a while. And, you know, this is it growing. But you might be getting impatient. You might want this to grow more. Okay. So give it some attention. Redefine that. Go back into your intentions. Intentions is based on what you give attention to help that grow and nourish. Okay? And then as we close, I am just going to ask for 3 cards from this angel deck, which give us some important messages for the people watching, please. What you could do is, in your mind, is choose card number 1, 2, or 3, and we'll do a wee bit of a personal reading. So as I'm shuffling, what do you hear? What are you seeing? Card number 1, 2, or 3, and that'll be your personal message. Okay. Number 2 and number 3. Okay. So for number 1s, we have the card of innocent. Okay, so let's read this. Beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth, as no one can alter God's handiwork of perfection. Give us your feelings of heaviness so we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook. Enjoy the peace within your heart once more. Yes, you've been asked to, I'm seeing just handing over your burdens, your problems. Maybe it just things are feeling really, really heavy and you're not able to just shift from it at all by doing anything that I'm suggesting. So what I want you to do is almost close your eyes and hold out your hands and feel everything that you're struggling with going into you like a ball of energy in your hands. And I want you to visualize God, or visualize an angel, or visualize your higher soul self, whatever your belief system is, and just surrender and hand it over and just like, I need help, ask for help. And then just have this trust and faith that you're protected. And I want you to almost, like there's these big wings coming around you and holding you. And you're like the little baby. Okay. Okay. And come back into your heart, knowing that all is good in this moment. When we have anxiety, we're either in the future or in the past. In this moment right now, you are okay. Watching this, you're okay. Remind yourself of that every day. Okay. Card number 2, giving and receiving. The entire universe operates in cycles. That's the card. The kangaroo and the parrot. The entire universe operates in cycles similar to your inhalations and exhalations. When you only exhale, you give, or you only inhale, you receive. You become out of rhythm with the universe. I was talking about this today with a client. For optimal health, energy, and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with an exhalation. So what this means is you could be a giver, okay? And I had to work on this massively. A giver. I wanted everybody else to be okay, then I'd be okay. And then I was giving. And one time I was exhausted and holes in my auric field and depleted. So if you're somebody that gives too much, mothers others too much, you want to start receiving. That can be quite difficult actually. I know it sounds lovely, but it can be very difficult. So you work on receiving. And if you're a giver, you actually might be prone to addiction as well. So you might be prone to buying stuff and buying people's stuff, food, things like that, okay? So you want to just stop all those old habits to hold your energy field. You might want to do some energy work and some protection work as well. Maybe some cord cutting work with other people. And maybe just spend a wee bit of time in your own energy, because you could be feeling other people's energy and it's just maybe very overwhelming. And it's all about mothering yourself, okay? Now, if you're somebody that receives a lot, now you must give then. So again, it's just going to be just as hard as if you receive, then it's going to be hard to give. If you give, it's going to be hard to receive. So we're being asked as we move towards the 88 portal to bring the balance in. And this can be given and receiving in all areas, with exercise, with diet. So balance in your life, basically. Which is out of balance? What can you do to bring that into balance? Okay. And then the third pile is entrepreneur. Oh, look at this. I don't think I've ever seen this card. Self-employment suits your disposition. So those that have chose number 3. And intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better follow your intuition and divine guidance. We are your co-workers and teammates who remain loyal by your side to ensure your success in all ways. And funny, I was talking about this also today, being an entrepreneur is lovely, okay? It has its pros and its cons. It is not easy. It is not for everybody, but I would imagine people watching this is all about leadership. So there might be an energy of wanting to have your own business or wanting to move towards more freedom in your current work or more responsibility or something. And sometimes we can get annoyed if we don't have that. I remember when I first had my children, my husband was self-employed, and I used to be so jealous that he was self-employed. He got to hang out with the children more, and I had to get up really, really early in the traffic and go to work. And I swore, I said, I will be self-employed. It took a while, but I got there. And, you know, it wasn't easy, and I had to do a transition as well. So, you know, it's not something, this is something I help people with. A lot of the times I will help my clients with working on their own inner stuff. We'll do past life stuff, and then we'll work on their mission and their purpose and whatever that is. And a lot of people come to me because they're healers, whether they know it at the time or not. And then they usually step into their own business. But it's important to not rush into it either, unless everything is aligned. But take your time over that, because it does take a wee bit of time to grow, and we don't want to be in this fairy tale place of like just throw all that in the air and it'll all work out, you know. But I do feel if you have chose number 3, you're being asked to step into this. You're being asked to at least explore, maybe do a course, maybe if you have a job, go down to a 4-day week, or actually make a big leap and set up a business, go get a domain name, and maybe start, you know, just stepping into that and seeing what fears come up, and starting to value you. So, because that can bring up a lot of stuff as well. You know, I was talking to another male client yesterday about maybe setting up a podcast. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He's a very successful businessman, but he's not fulfilling the mission, and he doesn't know what that is. He has a rough idea, but he can't just step into it. So I was like, just focus on it as a hobby right now, and just helping people in general. And he's very good at using his voice. And I said, well, that's what's stopping you from just, you know, sharing your voice, and just, it's just the whole act of doing something. It's like the universe always says you go first. So you stepping forward, and then they will step in and support, and then the path will appear. But what happens is a lot of us wait for the path to appear, and we'll be waiting and waiting and waiting, you know. So yeah, that's exciting. So, okay, I'm going to end it there, and hopefully I will be back soon. Timely. I will try and be organised for the start of August, because it's a big month, and then bring in the 8/8 activation. My kids are going to be away, I think, that week leading up to it. So Spirit are already allowing me, giving me the space to provide that, which is great. And yeah, I will talk to you soon. Much love.